I'm Mike DePalma, Senior Channel Development Manager with Datto, and today we're going to talk about managing a remote workforce. We've all been thrown into this chaotic world where everybody's working remote, or maybe there's a hybrid model, and a lot of times if you're managing this team, it's something brand new to you. Now I've had the advantage of basically working remote for the last 5 years, traveling around North America, doing presentations, events, and whatnot, but a lot of my teammates were in the office. And so now that they're remote, there's a lot of engagement that needs to occur in order to make sure that the team still has the camaraderie and you stay productive. And one of those things is really just engagement with your team. And I know we all get Zoom to death and everybody's annoyed at work looking at their screen and Microsoft Teams and all the rest. But the reality is there's studies that have shown that online collaboration and those online just bonding really does go a long way. So that could include just having a lunch together via Zoom, where you guys can just blow off some steam, talk about your lives, forget about business for a half an hour. Happy hours have been very successful, little things like that. And so when you look at that communication, why does that really go a long way? When you're looking at communication directly with your teammates, you really want to try to keep things as normal as possible. If you had one-on-ones with your team regularly, every Monday morning you had a one-on-one with your team, continue to do that. Try to make sure that everything continues to flow the same way it would have if you were all in the office, sitting in your cubicle, collaborating. Use of video goes a long way, and there's some interesting studies about that. I've been guilty of being on a Zoom meeting with just my stagnant face and not showing my real face, but seeing somebody's eyes, seeing somebody communicate with you has shown through many studies to really go a long way. And so continue to do that. Have that one-on-one interaction via Zoom, via any sort of platform that you're using to continue building that teamwork, building that collaboration. And you also got to learn to be more flexible. Remember, everybody's in a different situation. You might have an employee that's got multiple kids that are trying to do the homeschooling. You might have somebody who has a parent now living with them, and all of these different things. So make sure that, yes, you're continuing to have a routine, but be flexible within that routine. If you have a standing one-on-one meeting that might not work for a particular employee, continue to have that one-on-one, but do it in a flexible way that you can make sure it accommodates everybody's schedule. And what this really leads to is continuing to build on a strong culture. Every business, regardless of the type of business you're in, the size of your business, your region that you're located, they really need to make sure that their culture is strong. This is how you attract new talent. This is how you retain new talent, making sure that culture, whatever it was previously, continues and remains to be the same focus moving forward. And so when you look at best practices, again, I mentioned I've been working remote for a long time, and you get kind of tempted to sit there and do work from your bed, laying down, having their laptop on your lap, maybe sitting in a recliner, those type of things. I can tell you firsthand that you're not going to be as productive. I started to do that when I was traveling. I'd be in my hotel room and I'll say, okay, I'm just gonna pull my laptop up. You will not be as productive. Whatever you used to do when you were going into the office, wake up, take a shower, comb your hair, do all those types of things, continue to do that same thing. Set your alarm, even if you don't have meetings that day. It will make you more productive. Again, this is something just trying to make sure that whatever you were doing previously, you can continue to do. So find a place. Not everybody has a home office. Find a place. It could be your kitchen. It could be a desk in your bedroom, but something that's going to give you the feel of working in the office, staying productive. And when you look at how you're going to manage those teams, and you look at how they might be working, that's one of the things you have to start with. Where are you working within your house? Do you have the tools that you need to continue to stay productive? Make those investments to make sure that they can stay productive through making sure they have the technology that they need. And then understanding everybody's different situation. A lot of people just focus on the folks that might have small children in school. Oh my God, how are they doing this? But understand that even the single person might be stuck in their apartment for the last 6 months, not having human interaction. Understand that might be a reason why they're not as productive. Look at folks who are in a new living situation. Think about the folks that are brand new to your company. These folks are getting thrown into a new role, working remotely, aren't getting that one-on-one time. Make sure you understand that. Make sure you understand what might be preventing them from having a productive day at work and continuing to do what they need to do. And so there will be folks that aren't able to do this. Doesn't come natural. And the temptation is this person is just taking advantage of working remote. They're not being productive because they just don't have the motivation to. And that could be true. There will be folks that are going to do that, and they just are never going to adjust. But again, it comes down to understanding why are they not being productive? Why are they underperforming in their role? Understand that. That's where those one-on-ones come from. And be upfront. Say, hey, it looks like your production has dropped here. What is going on in the background? And you might uncover something that you can then go back and address and get them back into the routine that they need to be in. In order to avoid some of that procrastination, again, it comes back to those one-on-ones. It comes back to making sure they're held accountable, making sure if there's something that need to get done, here's the time it needs to get done. We're going to go and review this. If you let people just kind of work without any sort of supervision, they tend to try to kind of take advantage of that. So make sure you're staying on top of the folks, but again, keeping that flexibility that you might need. And so when you start to look at all the successes that you might have had, share those successes with other businesses that you might work with, other vendors, friends, family members. Talk about what's working, because there's a lot of new things that are coming about that you might be able to learn from somebody else. And you might be able to share some experiences that can help somebody else as well. So continue to collaborate with businesses of all shapes and sizes, all different regions, different industries, to make sure that you are doing the best thing you can possibly do to keep your team working and staying productive. And remember, we're the lucky ones. We're the folks that are still working. We're the ones that are still being productive. Make sure that your teammates understand that we are in a good position right now. Yes, it can be stressful. Yes, everybody's taking on a bigger workload, but remind them we are one of the lucky ones that continue to work. And I think that as we move forward, the business community is really going to rally together and continue to stay productive. All right, thank you all very much. There's contact information that you could reach out, talk to a managed service provider in your region, and see if there's ways on the technology side they can go and help you out. Thanks.